Welcome to the show. Second episode after a very long time. Very candid. And we're going to be speaking in English again because this one is specifically for the NACT fans. Well, not really. This is for every fan of MLBB in the entire universe because we've got one of the best ones in the business. A very good friend of mine, but also a guy that I look up to because he's just really good at shoutcasting and analyzing. The three-peat champion,
Grand finalist.
grand finalist of NACT, Mr. or dare I say, Coach Midnight of Cloud9. Hello.
Hello. He just looks up to me because I'm 6 foot. So, it's a literal looking up,
Yeah.
But yeah, happy to be here. This has been a long time coming. A full year. No, not even 2 years. 2 years. Even before this whole thing started.
That's funny because it's very true. We've been planning for a podcast for a very long time, but have only been able to do it now. But we did one esports OMSIM. We did OMSIM a lot.
Oh yeah. That came first.
Yep. And OMSIM was the reason why this podcast was possible. Big thanks to One Esports for making it happen. And of course, it kickstarted what we wanted to do. And also, we've got a lot of good stuff. And by the way, wait a minute. I think I need to feed the cat. wait. Give me a minute.
Casting. If Chantal was at casting. How are you, my idol?
I'm happy being a cat dad. At the same time,
Congratulations.
I was forced to be a cat dad. Do you have any pets right now? Or-
Yeah, 4 cats, 3 dogs.
What?
But the
Okay.
thing is, I don't take care of them. My older brother does.
Okay. I was forced to get a cat, but that's a story for another day. Basically, I found it in the hood of my car. I was chosen.
You're the chosen one.
The cat dad life I did not choose the cat dad life. Like the cat dad life chose me.
I have a joke that I'm not sure if I can say here.
I know where
in
you're
your
getting
podcast.
at.
I
Don't.
know. I know. It's it's the cells. It's the cells within me.
Man. All right. So everyone, for those who are watching, whenever you are watching this, at time of recording, it has been just a few hours where it was announced. Not really announced. It was decided that Cloud9 will be heading into the grand finals of NACT 2024 spring.
Isn't it fall?
Fall. Is it fall or spring?
It's fall, right? It's fall.
Fall.
For you,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah, fall.
NACT fall. 2024.
That's the American.
Yeah, of course. This is the second time that their coach Midnight has gotten to the grand finals with them. But prior to that, Mr. Midnight here already went with Basic as part of Avalon.
Avalon, yeah.
So was it 3 seasons straight?
Yeah, 3 seasons straight. So back to back to back.
Back to back to back.
Grand finals.
Intense. And for Basic himself, I think this was what, the 4th, 5th?
I think 5th
Yeah.
grand finals. He currently holds the most number of NACT titles.
That's also
with,
true.
Along with Zane and Milo, I think.
The GOAT? You mean the GOAT?
The GOAT.
You mean the GOAT?
Dude,
We were just talking about
the
him.
guy has not lost a finals yet.
Milo?
Yeah. He hasn't lost a finals yet. 'Cause
See?
his first appearance is with TOB and
Right.
then with BTK.
Right.
So imagine if we lose this final, he has not lost yet because he's not part of the main roster. Although he's sub,
All right. Yeah. So no matter what,
he
he's
still holds perfect record.
No matter what, he's still perfect record.
Yeah.
Unless
He's
of
still
course
the GOAT.
unless you play him and
Unless
then,
we play him and then we lose.
Yeah.
But again, as it stands, he holds the perfect record.
Man, Milo the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Man, I fell in love with the NACT content produced last season. You know, remember when there were many interviews that happened when he was getting interviewed and he ate the paper or something.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was doing just goat things, just goat things. So, man, after qualifying to the grand final again, very close to qualifying to another international event as the head coach of Cloud9, How does it feel now? Especially because it's a totally different approach for you, right? Because you don't have Zane. Is this the first season where you don't have Zane?
Uh,
Did-
no.
Cool.
First season was with Avalon. I had Tarzan.
Oh right.
Second season was with Zane, and then third season is with Best Player.
Wow. Okay. So three different junglers. Three different, very different junglers.
Yeah.
Best player. We gotta have to really talk about that transition. But yeah, how does it feel to get in the finals again, and the first one to be at the grand finals, which means a lot because it meant that you have figured out the meta much faster than the veterans now, which is right now BTK. Technically, Hoon and his squad have not won against you in the
Yeah, in the regular season.
regular
Not yet.
season.
I mean, 2 games in total, but not the series.
ever since you won against them last season,
Yeah.
they have not
Ever
won.
since the
Yeah.
finals.
Okay, so how does that feel
I mean,
right now?
it feels great. Naturally, it feels great to be in the finals, but it's also like a lot of pressure because
Yeah.
all the teams that go straight to the upper bracket always lose the grand finals for some reason. That's very true with a lot of regions, like Cambodia, PH.
Okay.
For 2 years now, there's a curse with like #1 teams. Shout out to Fnatic on it. So like, it's a nice feeling to have when you're undefeated in the regular season, but also like a lot of pressure. The idea that you could be beaten in the finals.
Yeah, that's right. And especially because right now with NACT, I guess the power equilibrium has shifted. There was is it safe to say that prior to your victory last season, it was literally just about one team that's
Oh yeah.
dominant about NA? Because
Yeah.
I mean that's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, even if we sugarcoat things, like we can say that NA is like a region that's very competitive, whatnot. It eventually became competitive, but in the early stages of NACD, all you have to do is to get the best players.
Yeah.
Not best player, like
Not best
literally,
player one.
but get the best players in the region. You can easily win. And
Yeah.
in fact, I don't think that they've ever had an actual coach during their regular season runs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you agree that that was the case though?
Yeah.
Before?
Like since 2 years ago, there's always been one team in
Yeah.
in NA. I think the only exception was with the MSC seasons. Like we had the Valley. Was it they outplayed at that time? Outplayed BTK, and then GG BTK last season. So there's always been one team, with the exception of those two NACTs. Because like if you look back, even before M3 happened, even before the BTK era, we only had like Gosu. So like if you ask people in America, they only they only know an actual strong squad.
Yeah.
So it has changed for like the past couple of months. Like a lot of teams really rose through the ranks. You had like some of the leftovers from BTK, like Joy Bodge forming his own
Yeah.
team. You still had Yoreshi in NA. There's also one team that has been there for a while now, who has not seen success yet, but they're they're going toe to toes with BTK and even us. So, I mean, it's very true. Like every season, like there's only just one team, but I don't think that is gonna be the case like moving forward, because they've reformed the old dream team with the BTK now, and then now you have us, Cloud9, like the newcomers.
So, man, Cloud9 must be very happy to have you guys. I've signed you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, Gaming Gladiators pulled out, but I think it's not not exclusive to their Mobile Legends arm. I think Gaming Gladiators in general pulled out of some of the organizations, understandably so. Which makes me think: is BTK like who owns that? Is that an actual organization?
No. BTK is Zane. Basically,
Okay.
wherever Zane is, that's BTK.
Okay, probably. Okay.
It's funny because like last season, we had this talk with with Basic and the remnants of Avalon. Like
Yeah.
we were looking to recruit players and then form a new squad, And then Basic came up to me and brought the idea of recruiting Zane, and
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm fine with that. I'm cool with I'm cool with anybody as long as they're teachable. So when we got Zane, we got to the question, what are we gonna call ourselves?
Uh-huh.
And then Zane didn't didn't actually present BTK.
Yeah.
Basic was the one who just said it out loud, like just get BTK again.
Yeah.
Use BTK.
Well, it worked because it I don't know, maybe familiar names are always, it's always nice for recall of the people out there.
I guess.
Yeah.
For international purposes. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think the curse with BTK is that when we use that name, even though I think it's still gonna be true, even if we don't call ourselves BTK, but when people see BTK looking for scrims, they don't want to practice again.
Oh yeah. So just
Yeah, I think that's the only
happens.
curse with that
Yeah.
name. But it's been
Yeah.
it's been fun. It's been fun actually.
Do you still remember when you started dipping your toes in a region?
That guy.
Oh, it's because of that guy.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah, Naisu probably doesn't know this, but he can be seen in one of these 3 cameras that we
Yeah.
have. So if you're, don't be surprised if you see Mr. Naisu. But here's the thing. Now that it dawned on me, a year ago was China.
Mm-hmm.
And we were, apart from being a national athlete, we were helping teams out there. I remember
Yeah.
you staying up
Oh, you're right. Oh,
literally
God.
in the morning because the time zones were different. Are you allowed to say? Well, it's been a year. What can
Yeah,
we do?
and that's been public. I've been very
Yeah.
very transparent about it. Like when we were in China, because we played for Asian Games. I think that was the actual thing. When we went to China, it was the playoffs for NACT.
Right. Yeah.
So-
yeah. You're right.
Problem was like the schedule was crazy. The scrims and the actual tournament happened in China at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So I was these guys were looking to eat breakfast. I was still doing scrims,
Yeah.
draft reps, and that was a crazy time.
Yeah, you would wake up even earlier because you have to prep. I mean, it's
Yeah.
the actual game starts 6 a.m., but obviously you have to wake up.
Yeah, 3:30.
Yeah, crazy. Was crazy. You'll be surprised how many coaches, analysts are required to do that kind of stuff. Like wake up. I remember Coach Lyric, one of the first few ones that started this trend of coaching for Western teams. Had to really go through that difficulty. Because, especially when, you can argue that, yeah, sure, it's online, whatever, but it's still very difficult, especially the bigger challenge of communication. It's hard to teach teams when you're not face-to-face or players, not
Always.
face-to-face. And that thing, are you even considering flying to, like, for example, maybe just, I don't know, maybe this coming playoffs, where's the playoffs happening? Is it
It's
again
online.
Vegas? Oh, it's online.
Yeah.
So no more Vegas thing.
I
right?
considered like flying to the last.
By the way, you can
extend.
we can you should use that.
Yeah, I considered flying to the last playoffs. Problem was, our playoffs started right after MPLPH ended.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I really just couldn't because of schedule
Yeah.
schedule problems.
Yeah. Midnight can figure out how to get to the finals, but still can't figure out his mic position.
Yeah, I know. It's killing me. It's honestly killing me. I need help.
Do you really
I need
need
help. I
Okay,
need
wait,
help.
wait.
No. This is good. It's good. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Because frick. There you go. I need to find a balance, dude.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah.
As much as we can theorize
Again.
strategies, I cannot
It's an
theorize
inside
mic
joke.
positions.
It's an inside joke between me and Midnight where we're only intelligent at MOBB and maybe MOBA in general, but outside of
Everything
it,
else, nada.
yeah. No particular set of skills outside of casting. Anyways,
There you go.
where are we at? Okay, so you started. It's almost a year now, and you started in humble beginnings, I would say, because you didn't start with the top team because you started
Yeah.
with basic and the Avalon people.
Not even.
Not even.
Basically, what happened? No pun intended. Basically, what happened was Naisu got in contact with a manager at NA, and then he connected me to the manager. The team is called the Simpsons. If you guys know what the Simpsons are, basically it's a clan slash squad where most of the most of the great individual
Why
players.
is everybody?
I don't know. But basically,
yeah.
the Simpsons is a breeding ground of like good talents.
Oh, okay.
Tarzan came from there. Coldward came from there.
Oh.
A lot of very famous players in NA.
So it's like
came from
it's
The
like
Simpsons.
Obs, Aether,
Exactly,
something
yeah.
like that. Okay, okay.
So I coached the Simpsons for a month. Unfortunately, we ran into like roster problems. We didn't have a tank until the last minute.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Cold World was actually playing mage at the time.
Yeah.
Problem was they had an analyst. Her name is Fleur, and she was playing mage too. So
Yeah.
Chris couldn't play gold as well because we had what's his name? I forgot to play his name. I'm so sorry. I call him Blake. I forgot his IGN. But basically,
Okay.
Blake was playing gold lane, and he's so good. Chris had to fill in the tank position.
Okay.
Because Tarzan was also playing jungle, and then we had the XP too. So we ran into like a couple of roster problems, and then we ended up losing in the qualifiers. So that was that was the first start of NA. It wasn't like all
all right.
rainbows and flowers for for my start. So we lost the qualifiers, and I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
And then I find out that in NA they have a really weird system.
Okay.
You can shuffle rosters in between seasons.
Oh yeah, well, I remember being very surprised about this.
Yes.
Okay.
So what happened was basically OSP's manager Nami got in touch with Nighthorde, and then Nighthorde, fortunately for us, also had document problems. So they needed to swap pieces, like they needed to swap certain players for other players, and then
Sounds crazy.
that's how we got in. Yeah. So they acquired Tarzan and then Coldward at the same time with the whole plan of putting 4 of OSP into the roster. So basically a free invite into the actual thing.
Oh yeah, like the actual takeover.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It's very
Okay,
weird, and
okay.
I'm not proud of it, but we got to play the rules. So we only lasted. I think we only lasted 2 weeks. We ran into a couple of problems. That was the end of it. 2 weeks went by. Nothing from NA. I thought I was done. I was ready to move to MENA. I was gonna follow lyric.
Okay.
Like,
Okay,
truth
yeah.
be told, that's where the money is. Like good teams pay good salary in MENA.
So I heard.
Yeah, so I heard too. Hashtag shout out to Zigo. So yeah, going back, 2 weeks went by. I saw Avalon play, and then I was like, "This is the old Empire squad." That was Jordan's squad actually. That was acquired by Avalon, and then Basic was playing there.
Okay.
So like a familiar face. So I was riding a grab to MPL. I was watching their game, and I was so pissed at how bad their game was. I was like, "Sorry, but you guys
You can
don't-
swear here.
You guys don't deserve this."
Okay.
No, it's not even a swear. It's like me trying to contain myself because we lost the qualifiers, and I see this shit. Sorry.
It's okay. That's
I
okay.
see this shit. I was like, "Yo, Basic, dude."
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk, man.
All right.
And fortunately for me, like Basic and the other players were trying to look for help.
Yeah.
And Basic already knew that I was in NA. So
Okay.
the first
okay.
contact that we had, it was just all banters. And then that happened, and then Basic was like, "Want to coach for us?" So that was the start of the whole thing.
And just to be clear, this wasn't anything like you're not like actually contracted to it. You don't.
No, yeah.
You don't get paid for it.
Yep.
Yep. You probably have some sort of like deal where we'll give you a part of the tournament winnings.
Not even just incentives.
That's okay. Just incentives after like a bonus. Like
Yeah.
yeah. And things like that happen. I've experienced like just having like incentives, that part of the actual part of the pie of tournament winnings. But then what you guys have to understand is that all of this is done by a virtual handshake thing. Honestly, Midnight could have copped out any point during the
Ran
tournament.
away, goes to the team.
Yeah, exactly. You could have ghosted the team, or maybe that not even ghosted the team. We could just outright say that, no, you don't deserve this. I'm out. You can do that.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna
mic
run
drop.
after. You can mic drop that thing. But yeah, you didn't. You actually persevered and went through it all, which made which is something that people probably do not know of. You're probably thinking, yeah, sure, maybe Cloud9 or what Avalon or BTK or whatnot or what have you probably pays Midnight, because why else would Midnight do it? Well, turns out it didn't start that way. Eventually, NA as a region,
We had no money.
yeah, well, which is it's true, and you cannot blame NACT for that because they're imagine NACT as what, maybe MPL season 1 or maybe what maybe
Maybe
episode-
Weeknight Showdown.
maybe Weeknight Showdown level, like
yeah.
Battle Arena, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Battle of Nations.
Battle of Nations era of MLBB here in Southeast Asia, because of many things, and part of it is because NA is just so huge that you don't really. That's a problem with first world countries with MLBB and esports, because they probably will put esports at the bottom of their priorities instead of like on top of it, because because they're, I mean, like, can you blame them not investing in MLBB because it's not earning much? So it's as easy as that. So I have, ever since I've had this podcast with Assassin Dave and
Oh, Dave was here?
no, not was in MPLI. That was in Indonesia.
Yeah. Last year, yeah.
So I was with Assassin Dave. And I had even more respect, I guess, for lack of a better term, more understanding for NA as a region, which meant that I now place people that invested in NA on a different level. Like,
That's
let's
true.
say
Yeah.
Cloud9, for example, very important. The casters, Trex, Steph, Quirky was Private Dancer.
Who's Quirky?
Yeah, an old caster. Yeah, I used to cast for them for their community tournaments. Okay. Basically they're even like what they're using their own money just to fund this. Dave, of course, is there. Who else? Nami, of course. Aiko, GD Aiko, obviously.
Yeah.
Man, all of these people who have committed their time and effort for NA, I think I hold them to a very high regard after that podcast, and I think that's still true, right? I've been up until this moment, only Hoon. Oh, not even. I think not even everyone from BTK.
OG? Like OGs?
I think they still have their day jobs, right? Or
Oh, no. I think Hoon's a full-time streamer.
Who's a full-time streamer? Okay. Oh, obviously Moba Zay
Yeah,
is.
Zane, Hoon, I think Zia, Shark as well.
But they used to.
And Chicken.
Yeah, I think before flying for M5, they had to kind of quit their jobs.
Even M4.
Even in M4,
Even
that's
in
right.
M4, they had to quit their jobs.
Yeah, somewhere else, because I think the tournaments are long enough that you can apply for leave for the entire thing, and then right after they have to find another job and get back to their own business while still playing at nighttime. That's why also scrims, like in Southeast Asia, if you can scrim for 3 scrims per day, you're lucky to have one in NA region.
Yeah, scripts are horrible in NA.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the schedule is horrible.
Yeah, it's just like, it's essentially like disorganized, but they cannot control it because it's just the way it is. Nobody has fully committed their life to MLBB because life is hard there.
Like in Southeast Asia, you have a full week of schedule of scrims.
Yeah.
And then you guys down? You guys G? All right, want to scrim now? All right, that's it.
I think you can. There will even be a time where you're screaming against your opponent, right? You have to
What do you mean?
for you scream against people in the same tournament as you would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even in NACT.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we would have to scrim against BTK.
Yeah.
Even though we would pace them like 2 weeks or a week from
Exactly.
now. So there's no choice. There's no actual choice.
Yeah. We have no choice. I believe that there were some talks of no, C9 went to the Philippines for
Yeah.
MSC.
MSC, yeah.
Yeah, so they did.
Yeah, we were here for 3 weeks preparing for MSC, and
Yeah.
then Moonton drops a patch bomb on us, deleted 3 of Zane's heroes,
And it was forced to play what?
Julian Alpha,
Julian Alpha,
YSS.
Yisun Shin. Yeah, MSC. Man, all right. So let's get to some of your coaching highlights. And the first one being, and this is very important because when you guys won last season against Gaming Gladiators, I would say that not most expected that to happen, right? You were definitely the underdogs during that time. I remember watching it and I felt like when you won game number 6 and the way that you played it and won with it, I felt like, okay, I think Gaming Gladiators, who have been dominating the scene for quite a long time, they're not used to this, to being in this spot where they're actually on the verge of getting defeated.
Yeah.
And somebody is actually getting their number, essentially. So I think I guess the for lack of a better term, they're not used to losing like that, especially for a comeback situation where they got outplayed by Mr. Basic, who everybody doubted can play like that, but
Yeah.
actually played tremendously
chase.
well.
The chase on the Roger.
The Dragon Spear Roger.
Yeah, that was crazy. And
Yep.
the small proc on the what was that spell? The movement speed thing.
Oh, the quantum
Quantum
charge.
charge.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
called
because
QC.
he attacked one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he skill damaged one.
attacked
Yeah.
best player and then ran away.
Yeah, that was and again, Basic has been under a lot of scrutiny because of his performance here in the Philippines, and not because of his actual performance, but his the way that he and everything that he does outside of the game, very famous for. But I think that I don't know, but there are so many things that happened during that run with Moba Zay being doubted so many times because I think eventually best player was the top jungler, at a certain point, like by win rate, obviously. And then when you have like Moba Zay, Milo, that come on, nobody is in the right mind to doubt the GOAT.
Yeah. You're
But-
crazy if you doubt the GOAT.
There were so many doubts about Milo. Of course, he's getting memed a lot so much. But then you got your mid laner.
Mar?
You acquired Mario from
From A77.
and A77 was phenomenal, by the way. I think I thought that they'll stick together and maybe rise again for the next season because again my boy Jay, shout out to you. And then who else did I forget?
Cold World and...
Cold World, of course. Cold World improved a lot during
and
that
Apple.
run.
Nicolette.
Yeah, and Nicolette, of course. So you have that gang that practically did not pass the requirements of the people on the criteria of can you actually defeat the Gaming Gladiators?
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We knew coming into the season, like,
See?
there was no way for any team to form a squad that can match up to GG.
Exactly. Because the GG, they were veterans and they were actually good at it. They're not just veterans, they're the top players in the region.
Yeah.
So when I saw that you guys defeated them in that fashion, game number 6, I thought, okay, maybe the momentum has shifted. This is BTK. We were BTK, right?
Yeah, BTK.
Yeah, this was BTK's game to win. And you
Technically,
did.
we were Cloud9 back then, but we weren't allowed to
Yeah.
change the name.
So what happened? What do you think? What do you think was the reason why you won? So A very long intro, but a very lame question. What is the reason why?
I actually have a good answer for that because I think this is where you start seeing the advantage of having a national professional system with like teams. Because like I think one of the biggest reasons why GG lost against BTK is mental fortitude,
Yeah.
and you don't get that a lot from players. You need to have a like good backup system. So the main difference between BTK and GG playing the whole finals was that GG were concerned about actually playing the game,
Yeah.
composing themselves, and then drafting. All our players had to do was press the buttons.
Yeah, I get that. I see. So at what capacity were you able to help during that the playoff run? Because you were online, right?
Yeah, NACT allowed me to be on call always for the draft.
Cool.
So we were given like a lot of time during, because usually they're gonna give the same thing with GG as well, but they didn't have a coach. So right after the game, I was allowed to go into the call in Discord.
Yeah.
So like imagine the whole stretch of like the post game highlights, breaks and stuff. They had to go to the bathroom every time they go back. They talk to me. We prep the draft. Drafting starts. The only thing that they have to do is suggest.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole pressure on the team was like off the table.
Yep. I see.
That was the biggest difference.
I think well, Hoon already revealed this, but there was a time that they did ask me to be
I know. I was like, oh my goodness,
gaming gladiator. But again, gaming gladiators is
I saw it. I saw it in Discord at 6 a.m.
Yeah, no. They tested me out, and we were I think we're having an okay time, but then I got sick during that time. I couldn't show up because it was at 6 a.m. and I got sick. I literally got sick. Remember the time where I had like stomach flu and stuff?
Yeah.
That was the same time.
2 weeks.
2 weeks I was out. Like literally cannot do anything.
You were dead.
I was practically dead, and then there were some legalities that I think gaming gladiators are open. They're gonna help me out with the legalities of what I was going through back then. I cannot just literally get into stuff, but at the same time, I'm like,
what is this? This is a new story.
oh, you mean
This is not public info. What is the story?
who already told you about
this?
this?
Related to? I know the story, but the public does not know it. You know, you gotta reveal it, man. Anytime soon.
Well, Hoon dropped it anyway, so there's no point hiding, anyways. But there was a time that was, legally, I was in another organization.
An unnamed organization.
And this organization, although I'm not in the active roster, I'm still under their spell. No, just kidding.
So-
I'm still under their I'm still in contract with them.
So you were a shadow analyst.
I'm not saying this is I'm not saying that this is an organization that got me as an analyst.
Okay.
Right?
I gotta clip this.
This
and
is
send this to Mirko.
This is an esports organization.
All right.
Yeah. Again, watch out for episode 88 of the 80 podcast.
Caption headline: Wolf uncovered.
No. This is another organization.
All right.
I'm not gonna reveal what capacity this is, but
Okay.
this is
Fair enough.
in a direct conflict of interest with the gaming gladiators, and obviously, gaming gladiators. As much as I would love to help them, I don't want
Risk it. Yeah.
I don't want headaches, basically. And I was fairly certain that there were other coaches that are more qualified to do that, especially because I did not have a US visa back then. So I was kind of, iffy about that. And I'm like, and to be fair, I was like, man, you guys will probably win it without
you guys
me.
are number one.
Why would you need me anyways? But I think I would. We had a long talk. I had a long talk with Hoon. I would have loved to have worked with them, but unfortunately, the legalities and stuff that got delayed so much. They reached out to me way before, I think around February or maybe even January. That time when they were still preparing.
Yeah, that was the time they were hyping up. They had a coach.
Yeah, but the thing is, the organization just can't let me go for whatever reason. They're not talking to me. They're not replying to me. in all due fairness, the point person was sick with COVID. That's why it got
okay.
delayed. It got delayed many, many times.
Yeah.
Up until the point where it's too late for gaming gladiators, right? So
Got it. Yeah, because the registration ended
yeah, or
at
something
third
like
week
that.
of Feb.
Exactly. So annoying. But then at least I didn't get defeated by midnight.
That would have been amazing though. Like, two
Like,
Filipino
no,
coaches,
it's not.
two Filipino coaches, MPL casters
Oh, well, true.
conquering NA. I mean, that's beneficial to MPL Philippines. Like for
True, true,
international,
true,
that's
true.
not healthy because there's a lot of MPL PH regions out there.
Yeah. Again, the butterfly effect. Maybe if I was there, maybe Gaming Gladiators may not have made it to the grand finals if I was there.
You're being too honest. You're
No,
being too honest.
Come on, man. I mean, like it's what's done is done. But yeah,
we will never know.
if you're hearing this, Hoon and Zia was there. Shark, best player.
Mhm.
Who am I missing? And
Fried chicken.
Fried Chicken. I'm very sorry that because of some legalities, I couldn't continue with our with what we would have started. Wish you all the best.
I mean, to be fair, you would have lasted only one season, so
True.
because now they're back to BTK. No shade, no shade. All right, just facts only.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
You would have been a coach for one season, and then what?
Midnight, I love you so much. I'm not gonna comment on that.
Oh,
man,
my goodness!
all the stuff that
Again, no shade, just facts. That's true. Like
It's true. Yeah,
if you were a coach,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say,
yeah.
let's say even if you won NACT, you went to MSC, you go back, you're BTK.
yeah, true.
So we've been both BTK now. If that happened,
If that happened,
yeah, BTK.
BTK, BTK. That's funny. Anyways, where are we at? Okay, so yeah, that was a very good victory for you. Big props to you and the boys. Apart from that, you talked about like mental fortitude, which I think was a problem for many teams in the early seasons of MPL Philippines.
Yeah.
But when coaches started to come in, that's when mental fortitude has been always the topic, and it was apparently one of the most important factors of why the blacklist run, that the royalty run of blacklist was there. I believe that that's also what Ducky has been working on for a very long time. That's why it worked eventually. And you said that it was indeed the reason why you won. Apart from that, is there any other thing that you thought would have been the reason why you won that?
I mean, it's the obvious, like preps and drafts, all that stuff. Because the thing with GG, like when we won Game 6, I already knew that the draft was gonna be easy for Game 7.
Yeah,
because at that time,
be overthinking. And
yeah, not just that, but also like I knew how they're gonna approach Game 7. They tried to replicate what Avalon did against Zane when we dropped BTK in the previous season. But the thing is, like we came to the finals prepared.
Yeah.
If GG does this, we still have this. So Zane had more in the in the arsenal. I mean, it came to a point where they even banned one of the the options that we had, like the Carmelo. They banned it out, but I was very fortunate to have witnessed Tarzan play Balmond, so it was a good thing that I
remembered.
I saw that. And I even told Zane that it might work.
Yeah.
In GG, and he called me crazy. It was like, no way. And then it came down to the last second. Like we were choosing between Alpha and Balmond.
Yeah.
And I told Zane, Alpha, I trust your Alpha, but it's kind of scary. And he said it himself. It is kind of scary. So the team, just rallied. That's also one of the few advantages that we had. Like the team had amazing support system, not just with the coaches, but also within the players. Like, yeah, sure. Synergy wise, GG beats us by by tenfold. But in terms of like support, because like my players told me the story that GG started fighting after Game 6. It was crazy.
Really?
And then Game 7, they really rallied Zane. Like, who would have thought Zane picking Balmond in Game 7?
Yeah.
And if you say it's gonna work, you're actually crazy. well, the team was there. They played around Zay. They played to make sure that this Balmond pick worked. And yeah, I think those are the obvious facts as to what gave us the advantage in Game 7. It's just the prep and the fortunate instance of my team actually backing up this decision. Because I remember clearly when the draft started for Game 7, Basic told me, whatever you want, coach, pick whatever you want. We're just gonna shut up. We trust you. He explicitly told me that. So the whole team was quiet the entire draft, and we were. I've discussed this already with Chex. Like we were having a back and forth, and we were. I'm assuming this was also true for GG. Like we knew what the picks were gonna come out.
Yeah.
Come out from each other. So it really came down to execution and the last pick, which was fortunate for us that we were last pick in Game 7.
Oh yeah. Was it? So they chose. They chose first
blue
pick.
side, yeah. Chose blue side.
Yeah.
Because we had there was a I think a hidden warfare between Louis, Edith, Arlott, those three.
Yeah. Who got Edith in the last game?
I gave them both.
Edith
Yeah. So the entire story of the finals was the trades between Arlott and Edith.
Yeah.
But Milo at Game 5 was complaining to me that it's kind of hard blind picking XP, especially against flex heroes. Because remember Edith and Arlott were both like flex in Rome and
5
XP.
and 3. Yeah.
So I was like, Game 7, scratch the game plan. I'm gonna give both Arlott and Edith, so that if they do get those two, because like if you're GG, you're getting free Arlott and Edith. Now we see the XP.
Yeah. So you went for X. What did you go for?
I went for Terizla 4th.
Terizla, yeah. Which beats Arlott and
Beats Arlott. It's like a
good match against Edith. Yeah. Back then. Right now, it's different.
Right now, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Edith's broken.
Yep. Where are we at? Okay, so yeah, I think that was a benefit of having just a coach. But I think it's also, for example, like if you isolate that case for GG, for example, and let's just say that I continued with them. But then if they don't trust me enough because I wasn't able to prove that they trust me, they probably won't listen to my drafts anyways or something like that. They probably will just resolve to whatever works with them. That's why a good coach that they also trust, it is also very important. And to be fair, it's difficult to gain the trust of a team like Gaming Gladiators who have been winning so much, right? I mean, like, I'm not saying that they're egoistic or whatnot, but it's just that you have to beat them first before you gain their respect. That's just how pro players work.
Because they're number one.
Why
would they listen to anybody?
Exactly. If it works. I mean, I'm not saying that will be the case for Gaming Gladiators. I'm just saying that you cannot just imagine a world where they get a coach and they all of a sudden they will win that. It will not work that way. It has to. They have to meet halfway. And now I wonder how you earned that kind of trust for C9, because you told me just a few seconds ago that or a few minutes ago that they just shut up and played the draft that you gave them.
Yeah.
So how did you gain that kind of trust?
It's a long journey, honestly, because like we've had a lot of like differences between the team, but we've always managed to find common ground. And I think one of the main reasons as to why that is the case is because like we just talk without filters, and I think that's been the style of NA. And fortunately, that fits me. You all know me, my filters.
Do we have neck pillow here?
My filter is kind of transparent. All things go through there without any changes. But yeah, BTK at the time we've always had this discussions every week, like real talks, sit downs. There's an inside joke between me and Basic, like the therapy sessions. It's like I talk to my players individually. Some calls last between 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's also why me and Zane got really close. Like I love the guy. I love the guy to death. Like he's a good friend.
Yeah.
And we'd always talk about weird things. And like when you're because like for me as a coach, one of my fundamental beliefs is that you have to have a personal connection, like an individual rapport to your players. Like you have to at least know what he likes, get into a conversation, be jive with each other, so that whenever things are when you get dirty, down and dirty,
Yeah.
when you get down to business, you have to you have to get that respect from the player.
Yeah.
And also like outside of the therapy sessions, I really just show when I'm frustrated about like specific plays.
Yeah.
And when I do that, you have to back it up with proof. So I think one instance that I can remember was when we were playing against DA. The players were actually surprised, and this is not me like lifting myself, but because of prep,
Yeah.
we predicted 5 of the heroes that showed up against the on DA side, and they were like, "Holy, sorry."
It's okay. No, you can swear here.
And then right after that, they interviewed Zane. Basically, what he said was Midnight was doing a good job. So that was I think that was the turning point where I got a respect, because like every draft that we had, it always was on BTK's terms.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So it was a process but you gained it. But I guess it all boils down to proof.
Yeah.
It's always about the proof.
Effort and proof.
Yeah.
Like you have to, like what you said with GG, it's either you have to beat them or you have to convince that this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
true. So
exactly.
proof, and of course effort, because like if you have proof and you're not willing to put in the effort, because like it's not an overnight change.
Yeah.
They're not gonna suddenly just trust you out of the blue. You have to give them time to process this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. Now, apart from like proving that you're right, or proving that you are making a lot of sense in this, obviously there's a lot of discipline that is outside of the game that you have to also manage as a coach. Now, my first question is, how all in is Cloud9 or NA in general for them to be handled outside of the game? Because here's the thing, at least for Southeast Asia, in the Philippines, you're in a boot camp. So you definitely can discipline
Yeah.
your players when waking them up or putting them to sleep, or just literally showing the carrot and the stick when needed, because it's physical. It's like
You're there.
you're there essentially. How do you actually have access to them outside of the scrims and outside
No.
of the game? No. So what? This is just like, what is this extra effort, or is it on the player side, or is it like on your end, like doing the extra effort, or you just no, we're just working when it's screaming. Outside of that, it's up to you.
I mean, for me, like it varies from from coaches to coaches, but for me, it's always been the shared responsibility. Like, if I wanna make sure that the system is okay, is running, I have to put in the effort.
Yeah.
But that's also true with my players. So every time we, that's also why we do these discussions where we talk to each other, settle what needs to be settled. Because one of the problems that we face in BTK, even in Cloud9, was commitment issues.
Yeah.
Like committing to a schedule. That's
course.
very hard with NA. Because like MLBB, there it's a leisure, not a national career.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they have day-to-day lives. So that problem I have no control of. But one thing that I've learned to teach them was that if you really want to win, you have to put in the shared responsibility.
Yeah.
And what I mean by shared responsibility is that you don't expect responsibility from other players. You expect it from yourself.
Yeah.
Because like if you want to win, you have to grind. If your teammates is not grinding, that's not an excuse. You still have to grind.
Yeah. Which makes me think, like, going back with the few times that I was able to train with the GG boys, and this is, again, very small sample size, but they are, they're very disciplined about their time, about how they look up, how they make sure that they control each other.
Sana all.
No, like, for example, there was one time when, I can't remember which player, there was this one player that is making excuses because he don't want to play ranked games, play RG.
It's probably Fight Chicken.
I don't know, cannot remember. But then everybody was just like, "Hey, shut up! You're making excuses. No, play with us."
It's probably Hoon.
The one that said that, yeah. probably. But yeah, I think they're looking out for each other. So that's again, this is just a few times that I've been with Gaming Gladiators, which big props to them. So now, would you say that there are players that's difficult to kind of control?
Right now, right now I don't think so. Cause
But
like
there was.
there were
Okay.
like a couple.
Okay.
Actually, the whole team.
All right.
The whole team was so difficult to control. Like
Yeah.
you've had, I've had so many experiences where I set the schedule for RG. My player wakes up at this specific time. 3 players are offline. He's gonna go offline. The other player
course,
goes
yeah.
online.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing goes,
Yeah.
goes haywire. And I was
Yeah.
like, I remember this this screenshot that Basic kept sending me. The screenshot contained me being furious in a Discord server,
Yeah.
just typing all caps. Where the fuck are my players?
Yeah. It's extra strategy because at least my experience in bootcamp, just wake him up literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've experienced that. Like, if you have access to my Discord account, if you check my DMs with Basic, Chris, Zane, you're gonna see like a bunch of missed calls.
Yeah.
Because that's me either waking them up
Yeah.
or calling them for RG. Because like, hey,
Yeah.
the guys are ready. Where the hell are you?
Where you at?
Where you
Right,
at,
yeah.
boy?
So, okay. To be fair, so they started not that disciplined, but obviously when the chips are down, when everything is it's almost near game time, I will be more disciplined.
Yeah, the tournament mode.
Yeah. Did it take a long time for them to be more disciplined?
I would say they got disciplined right after we won NACT. Because like that's
Wow.
that's when they knew that it was a real thing. Especially after
That wasn't
they've
quick at
experienced
all.
boot camp. Yeah, I know. Like the whole NACT last season, they were disciplined enough to show up in scrims, show up in practice, show up in the actual tournament. But when you say discipline, it's a constant thing.
Yeah,
It's
of
not
course.
like you're gonna be disciplined because there's an upcoming event or you have to do this for a specific period
Yeah.
of time. Discipline is is a routine basically. So when NACT ended, this is how I know it's not discipline. All of them went offline
Yeah.
for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They were like, let's wait for PH bootcamp. Wait for PH bootcamp.
Yeah.
Wait for PH bootcamp. While you're waiting for PH bootcamp, the other teams are training.
Yeah.
And then they got to the PH bootcamp. They got their butts kicked.
Their asses
Their
handed to
ass
them.
handled to them. And then that's when they started actually waking up the right time without me having to wake them up.
Cool. Yeah. Again, it's maybe just slapped by reality. Did you feel that heading? Well, okay. Before that, I wanted to ask this because, and I think this is a topic that should be talked about when, especially from a coach that handled Basic, right? So Basic and Moba Zay are always going to be, they're always going to be talked about because that's just natural.
Mm-hmm.
And we have time. Let's talk about them. Basic. Do you know that there was a time where I actually coached Basic?
Onik, yeah.
Yeah, Warnick. And the thing is, I didn't have the
He has
chance.
high respects for you, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Stop, Basic. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to coach him because he wasn't. He wasn't
Oh,
there
thanks.
because he wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
And Basic.
Where was he? Partying?
God knows what he's
Partying?
doing. It was the time of pandemic, so I think there was
Okay.
some problems with traveling around. I think he went to the US or whatever.
Oh, yeah. He
So,
went back to US. Yeah.
I think that there was that kind of stuff. But and also I wasn't there all the time. Again, it was a pandemic online setting, even when it's like a local thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was season 6, and there were so many stories about Basic and his quote unquote, discipline and work ethic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I always think of it in a way, right? Maybe he's a kid. He's enjoying his stuff. He's
Yeah.
good-looking kid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good-looking kid.
He's a
right?
good-looking kid.
Yeah, good-looking kid.
That is true.
Came from the US, so probably had that culture of partying with him. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I fairly remember this story where the U-level peeps, after winning 2-0 in the first week
Oh,
of
God.
season 4,
The grand final celebration week 1.
first week of season 4, they win 2-0, went out partying.
That was against STI too, right?
I cannot remember where.
I think that was STI.
but they were up against whatever. But they won. Nobody expected them to win, but they won. Everybody's hyping up Basic. They went partying. The rest was history. And then
The immortal run.
The immortal run, obviously. Season 6, that was that, issue. But I think it was a mixture of it being the pandemic during season 6, and then obviously Basic was a US citizen. Was he US citizen or what? But he's basically staying in the US for quite a time. So there was that travel quarantine thing, whatever. I cannot remember honestly. But it's safe to say that Basic did not have good rep when it comes to practice, work ethic, and discipline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that he's matured a lot ever since.
I mean,
so yeah, what can you say about? Is he? How is he now?
I mean, in terms of growth, he's doing fine. I'm just gonna say this. I'm actually proud of the development. There's a lot of things that I cannot say in this podcast that it's just between me and Basic.
Yeah.
But if the public knows about it, you're gonna be fucking proud about the kid.
Nice.
Because like he went through a lot of shit. Honestly,
Yeah.
through a lot of shit. I mean, not just the shit here in PH, but also a lot of shit in US.
Yeah.
Went through a lot of shit with his career, all that stuff. When I met Basic again, first thing that we bonded about was I bonded through with was like the whole PH thing. Like he admitted all the stuff.
Yeah. The
And
good
then-
and the bad.
The good and the bad. Like he shared everything. Even things that people don't know. Like I know more than the PH people now.
Yeah.
Because he told me. And then I just see Basic as like a player now that is focused on his career and his life moving forward.
Yeah.
And like if you ask me how he's doing right now, like truth be told, I'm here in PH. He's in Missouri, in the house of Aiko. He's actually rallying the whole team.
Oh, they're gonna be boot camping together.
They've been boot camping together.
Wow.
And he's always been the motivator
Nice.
of the whole team.
So
But the
that-
thing is, he's a type of person where he lives on the extremes. Like if you have a bad thing to say about him, it's fucking bad. If you have a good thing to say about him, if you know him that well, it is a good thing. Like to me, a good analogy would be like if he owes me money, he owes me a lot of money.
Okay.
But if say he tells me, Coach,
you mean like if he's gonna borrow money from you, it's gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's not gonna borrow some cents from you.
still owes me money by the way.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And then when he like rallies the team, talks to me, Coach, I'm gonna be doing this for the team. I'm not gonna die two deaths in this game. He actually proves himself.
Yeah.
Because there was this I think that was BTK like 2 weeks ago. He told me things that after the game would be established. Like say most deaths 2
Okay.
for the entire series.
Okay.
So he says a lot of things like that. He says a lot of shit,
Okay.
but he does it.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's one thing about Basic is that definitely has the skill. Especially when he was playing in the Philippines, back in season 4, the controversial run, season 4, season 6. Even with his minimal amount of time playing in the Philippines, you can consider him as one of those good players out there. He's actually good at playing, but then you're hearing a lot of stories about his work ethic and his discipline. That's probably why he didn't really peak that much here in the Philippines. But now in the US, I've hearing a lot of stuff that Basic is actually a different player right now. Pretty much improved when it comes to his mechanical skill as well as his knowledge in game, and I think he's this trait for top players where you're always just it's not even courage.
Driven.
What's the English term for angas? What's that? Bravado, angst. Yeah.
Bravado, angst,
Cool. Confidence, I
Cool.
guess. Lack for the bear.
coolness.
But he has got that.
Oh,
that
the
kind of trait.
swag.
The swag. He's got a swag.
Swag, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's got a swag. translates it into game, which means that he probably will not break mentally
Oh, he's very hard to break.
when when chips are down. And I imagine that happened during your 7-game series.
Yeah, he's the last player to give up.
Yeah.
There was this one time. This should have been kept between us, but Basic already yapped about it in his stream. Like Melo, he was not fully giving up, but he was not playing 100%.
Yeah.
And then Basic kept shouting at him. He was like, "We can win this. We can win this."
In
Just play the
Tagalog,
game.
I would
Yeah,
assume.
in Tagalog.
So
we can
for
win this.
more
We can win this.
intensity.
Yeah, we can win this. And for the sake of like the communication drama between BTK, yes, it was in Tagalog. So
Yeah.
we can win this. We can win this. Just play the game. I'll carry you. Like those are the things that he always says. Like
Yeah.
I'll carry you. Sometimes it gets taken out of context, but it just shows the drive of the player because he wants to win. Like you can
Yeah.
take away a lot of things from Basic, but you can never take away the drive to win.
Yeah.
He's always gonna do a lot of shit just to win. And sometimes people look at it as something negative, but at the end of the day, if you're very understanding of like the landscape of how
Of competitive
esports is, it's always gonna be justifiable. Because
I
like
agree.
at the end of the day, everybody here wants to win.
That's a topic for another day, and probably I'll probably ask some other coaches about that. Maybe it's a roundtable of coaches, but yeah, there's something about like that kind of confidence that usually is not received properly by the casual viewers, for example, because they don't understand totally what's happening inside.
Yeah.
And you take, for example, there was a time where Carl Tizzi was called toxic, right? Because of his confidence and the way that he uses the words that he's using. And, because when you're super duper into game, you probably come out as commanding. Is that
Yeah.
a proper English word?
You're
when you command a lot, or when you're
you're too controlling, basically.
yeah, you're too controlling, whatever. Yeah, but we're running out of English here. But yeah,
I get a refill. Get from Nice.
yeah, that's right. When you can come out as too controlling when you're like that, but you're just at the end of the day, you're just very competitive. But
Yeah.
then if you're put in a spot where you have good people to manage and guide you in the specific direction, you're gonna be a much better player. That's where good players come out. Anyways, so that's Basic, and shout out to you, Basic. Hopefully we get in our podcast soon. We've always planned out to do that.
Maybe in Malaysia. We never know.
Will you be boot camping again in the Philippines if ever you'll get to M6?
We'll probably do it in Malaysia. Cost-wise, it's much more efficient.
Nah, do it in the Philippines. Come on.
Nah, I'm not gonna. I think PH is banned for like 2 years at least.
What?
Because when we got here, first thing that happened to us was we all got sick. So I'm not using it as an excuse, but
Yeah.
it is what happened when we got here in PH. We were sick for a total of like a month.
What?
Even during the time when we were in Riyadh.
What?
Milo was I don't know, sneezing blood.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Change of environment, I guess. US
Oh
to
yeah,
PH
yeah,
to
yeah.
Riyadh.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And then Basic had a lot of irritation on his body.
Yeah, I get it because that happened to me when I went to Riyadh. A lot of bleeding from
Yeah.
nose bleeding.
And they had it
I don't
worse
know
because
where.
like even before we got to Riyadh, they were already sick.
Yeah.
Zayn had a month-long nose thing.
Yeah.
He even infected our general manager.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, that happens, and that's one of my fears as a coach. Like, especially when we entered, heading into the regular season, we were winning a lot of stuff. Yeah, but
A lot of things that people don't know about.
a lot of things that people don't know how players will power through a fever,
Yeah.
but you know that they're not performing 100%.
Fever, pressure.
Pressure,
Personal problems.
personal problems. You just don't know.
Just easy to bash.
Yeah. Anyways, now when you went here in the Philippines, you boot camped it you were a bit sick, but you were were you having good scrims back
Oh yeah,
then?
we were having good scrims.
Were you winning?
We were winning a lot, especially on Alpha. We were winning. We were winning a lot before Moonton decided to drop a patch bump on us. Like again, the Fredrins, the Akais, the Baksha's, they all were taken away at the time where we were getting, becoming more confident about like the setups that we had. Because like in NACT, it's always been a question of is this viable versus GG. So coming to M6, it's an even bigger question mark. But when we got here, they had improvements down. They were playing better. They were starting to like have this familiarity of the play style.
They're starting to look like an MSC team.
Yeah, exactly. And then next week later, Skypiercer gets introduced.
Oh God.
And then here comes Zushin, Hayabusa, Julian,
Oh God.
Nolan.
The horror.
The horror, yeah, indeed. And people
All too well.
like we got a lot of hate for like giving Zayn the alpha. Like we picked alpha so much, but truth be told, even the teams that played in MSE, they were playing a lot of alphas and scripts.
Yeah.
And if you ask them,
Yeah.
they're gonna say one thing, because they kept getting beaten by the alpha.
Yeah. They were destroyed by Alpha.
Yeah, I mean,
Alpha Matilda.
for the love of
back
God,
then.
Senkai's played alpha in the final.
That's right. Well, but he was playing it in M1. It was actually a terror in the Alpha. Actually,
Yeah.
that kid is going places.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
great.
He went places.
He actually went places. That's true. So, would you chalk it up as a patch problem?
That's a good question. I would say the patch had a big part on why C9 underperformed in MSC.
Yeah.
But also like again the comms thing, like it has been addressed for quite a while now. Like the players just didn't want to understand each other. It came to a point where we had a big argument before
Yeah.
before our tournament day. We had a big argument about something that they just didn't want to resolve. So like the communication issue was a real thing. It's not just about the Tagalog. It's also about like how people talk to each other.
Yeah,
The dynamics of like the relationship between a team.
Yeah.
So it is a communication problem, but also like sort of a relationship problem thing.
Yeah.
So synergy was for sure affected. I wouldn't say the synergy in game was worse compared to NACT, but the synergy outside of the game was definitely much worse.
I see. Well, if you need relationship/communication tips, go to that guy.
I know.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
great guy. Yeah, get some tips from him about communication and relationship. But yeah, that's interesting because I had this theory back in season 7 where I was as a part of a professional team, I was so frustrated about a patch.
I think I know that team.
No, I only coached one team in season 7, so
I know.
and I know for sure that just because of one patch that we just couldn't figure it out because of the limitations of the player. So and you kind of think like, was it actually the patch that was a problem, or was it that the players were too slow when it comes to like adapting to the patch, or was it the coach that's at fault when you couldn't find a way for your player who's practically off meta to be meta again, right? Because that's a totally different thing. For example, when Blacklist International, after season 7, after success season 7, there were some nerfs that were targeted to them, but they still won with the
Persevered.
same strategy essentially for season 8. They figured it out because they were quick to adapt, and also they were the coaching staff unleashed their players, right? But at the same time, you see like it was season 9 where it was the Echo Express, and then the patch happens. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
Carl couldn't just perform as well as he did in the first leg of MPL Season 9, right?
The utility started
Exactly.
coming
Then
out.
what? SDZYZ
Mm-hmm.
became the star of the season or something like that. So things like this happen, right? Do you think and obviously it's a combination of all those stuff when teams
Yep.
like this struggle. That's what happened in season 7, combination of all that stuff. I believe that you can attribute that to our failure in season 14,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the team that we got was a utility based team, and then what? Like you said, like what happened to you?
That's meta.
We got, and then we're in the spot where, oh man, what do we do now? But at least that's only one part of many problems. With all the fairness, like Kaiser, did you see him play with the assassins?
Yeah.
Still really good at it, right?
Fantastic on the Julian and the high.
Exactly. So, but then there were other problems that happened that we had to go through. That's why we failed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is what was the biggest challenge there for C9 back then? Because here's the thing, man, and I know this: you guys can really make it out of the.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, we could have gotten out of the group stage.
Yeah.
I think to answer that, I have to reference again the shared responsibility, because
Yeah.
like for me as a coach, my job is to prepare the team for the worst, especially if I know that the patch
Yeah.
is going to affect the roster. I told certain players to practice this set of heroes. Told them to get used to it because like this might be meta. But at the end of the day, the players also share the same responsibility. If they're not grinding the heroes that they're asked to grind, then it's still gonna be hard for everybody to execute. Because at the end of the day, I would pick heroes based on what my team is comfortable playing with. Like I'm not gonna give Zane Hayabusa against Bren if we've never played a Hayabusa in Scrim.
Right.
So there was actually this one time where Basic actually just picked Hayabusa out of nowhere in scrims just to make Zane play Hayabusa. Actually played good in Hayabusa. And then I told Zane, Assassin jungle might be a thing, but he was this was pre-patch. He was adamant on sticking with the fundamental junglers like the Fredrins, the Akais, and then with a sole exception of like the Alphas and the Julian, because like they were exceptionally good at that time. So it is sort of like again sharing the responsibility, because I know a lot of players, even if they understand the meta well, they would still innovate.
Yeah.
A good example of that would be Blacklist International.
Yeah.
Like
The royalty. Let's call the royalty.
yeah,
run.
the VYs basically. Imagine playing fucking Aldous in a BLPH just because you watch a streamer, and you thought that it would have worked. And what's funny about that was we were the first team that got a taste of the Aldous experiment.
Was it play?
No, that was are you about to say playbook?
Yeah.
That was Lao's playbook.
Yeah.
So we were the first team that got the taste. We were the lab rat of the freaking Aldous jungle. So when everybody saw the Aldous jungle in season 7, I was like, oh shit, Blacklist gonna win.
Yeah.
Because at that time we didn't know how to counter the freaking thing. Because the games would always go either you dominate them in the early game, and then Ed would just split push the fuck out of the map, and then gives Wise an ample space, or you don't win early game, you just naturally lose against the Aldous.
Yeah.
So teams and specific players would constantly innovate, reinvent themselves. That's why I think like SDZYZ was a standout in season 9, because he reinvented the jungle role. Remember back then he was playing the Demon Slayer.
Yep.
On the Ling.
Exactly.
The only player to do so.
Yeah.
And then the Lancelot Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
And then the Windtalker Ling.
Yeah.
Constantly reinventing. Even Wise with the Fredrin jungle.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't meta back then. At that time, people were laughing at Blacklist for starting the whole Fredrin jungle thing. And then it became the standard for like the jungle position.
1 year and a half?
Exactly. No, not even, just 2 years.
Yeah, almost.
2 years of Fredrin jungles.
Yeah.
And Blacklist
if there's
invented
one
that shit.
if there's one consolation on this metagame that we have right now, it's the fact that we're not seeing Fredrin jungle anymore.
Thankfully.
Thankfully. Yep.
I mean, Kyle
You,
did it once.
don't
but-
you even get like traumatized with that line? See value mix.
Dude, every single time. It's like the 1-1. I remember season
Oh,
9,
yeah,
whenever
yeah, yeah.
1-1's open, you'd hear 1-1 first pick.
Yeah.
So in season 10 onwards, like first pick, oh god, I know it's gonna come out. See value in me.
Yeah. I think
You should.
the problem we have right now is chip. But apart
I
from
know.
that, yeah, it's only chip right now. Man. So here's the thing that I do agree with you. I think it's shared responsibility. Can't help but from my perspective, obviously I want to take some of the blame about that, you know, like figuring out the meta much faster. But at the same time, right, surely there are players and teams that become very successful because the players themselves are innovative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think that's a harsh lesson for many teams out there, and I hope that that is one thing that hopefully that is going to be a trend for most players from now on. Like, yeah, invent something. Like,
Yeah.
think about, like, find your own identity, look for something. Can you say that you are at that stage right now with C9, especially because even when Moba Zay went to the other side to join his mates, now you're with Carlos now,
Yeah,
right?
with best player, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Best player 1.
Best player 1. Yeah. You're with Carlos now, and
Number 1 jungle in NA.
yeah. And it's funny because during the time that you have Moba Zay was the time where utility junglers are a thing. And now that assassin junglers are a thing, now Carlos is playing.
Yeah, I told
Yeah.
Private the same thing. I was like, it's a win-win. Like, yeah, sure, we lose Zane. Like, we lose the hardcore jungle of NA. But I get an assassin. Like, it's an inside joke between C9. Finally, I'm like in MSC, all I do every night is hop into a custom lobby, hover on Ling. That's all I do in MSC. Now, when I actually hover onto Ling, I can actually pick it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because when you hover, you are gonna ban it.
Yeah,
because-
exactly.
Yeah, because Ling was auto banned in MSC. Yeah.
It was
That was
autoban
funny.
against
But yeah,
anybody.
apart from that, obviously now that you have all the tools to be successful, but you still managed to defeat a team. What was the score? 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
It was a 3-1.
The Nats prediction.
Yeah, pretty dominant. But this time though, and since you're my friend, and
Oh, thank you.
I can, I know that I trust you enough that you know that I can say my comments right
Okay.
out loud, dude. How you got freaking nuts? How is that possible, dude? Like, okay, wait. Can I just say that Nats being in NA is an anomaly? Remember,
He shouldn't
and
be there.
I am very open and vocal last season when I say that my personal regular season MVP was Nats.
Yeah, I know.
I said that many times.
I know.
A great impact player for RSG up until now. Even his last few games during MPL season 14, still phenomenal. Nats is Nats.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's in NA. He's just destroying everybody. And he magically ends up in Cloud9.
Yeah.
Man,
Like, what's the story there?
I don't know if you want to tell the story, but man, last season, you won with the pieces that probably would not have won, right? That nobody expected to win.
Yeah.
Right now, you're in a different spot. You have a best player on meta, and then you have Nats. You practically have all the resources now to take it. It's practically your tournament to lose, right? Do you feel that way right now?
No.
Okay.
It's never been that way. Because for me, especially when arranging rosters, it's always been like the value of the pieces. It's not like good analogy would be like if you're going to a war, you have a pistol. The goal is still to win the war, right? Or if you're in a gunfight, you have a pistol. The goal is still to win a gunfight. If you have a machine gun, it doesn't automatically mean you win.
Yeah.
It just means that you have a better chance of winning. And
Of course,
it also
yeah.
means that you have a lot of versatility with the machine gun.
And it
Machine
means
gun
that you have
compared
to
the
aim
pistol.
it at the right people.
Exactly. So with the roster, and this happened even before MC started. Honestly, like we planted the seeds because I knew for the longest time that Nas was gonna come to
You cheeky little
I
bugger.
know. And I told you this in S10. Like one of the players that I wanted to coach really really badly was Nats.
Yeah.
So that was a dream come true for me. So for me, like having this roster, it doesn't automatically mean
Yeah.
that it's our tournament to lose. And I even tell this to my players, like, do not get cocky. We're still gonna get beaten by BTK if we slack off. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, your value is only gonna be its value if you prove its worth.
Yeah.
Like say Nuts, he's been called as one of the he's been hailed as one of the best XP laners in the world. But if he plays like shit, then doesn't make there's no difference. So it's still gonna be a normal player. But if he plays like Nuts and he
Yeah.
I can draft Nuts heroes or I can draft compositions based on Nuts, then that's when I get to use the piece.
Yeah. It's like if you're getting the sharpest sword, but you use it for quarry, for example, against a stone, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I get you. Now, and also because, but then again, you're boot camping now, right?
Yeah, in Missouri.
Which kind of makes it even scarier because where is it going to be a LAN event for the
No,
grand
just
finals?
playoffs. Online playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be a problem. But then you're boot camping, so yeah, we probably have you probably have the not really advantage because probably BTK will also boot camp, right?
I think they
They're gonna be staying together.
they're staying together. Earlier they had 4 players in one place.
Okay.
They rented a nice apartment.
Yeah.
I don't know who who covered the expense.
Yeah.
Probably the 2 biggest streamers in NA. But yeah, 4 players are currently boot camping for BTK. They're just waiting for Shark.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in 2 days. So I think after 2 days, there's no more excuse for both sides
Yeah.
because the top of the town has always been the ping, like the
Of course,
MS
of course.
difference.
Yeah, but now it's not a problem anymore. Man, I am excited to see Nats in action in that scene. Were you online before playoffs? Were you boot camping during the regular season?
They've been boot camping since the regular season started,
Okay, including Nats?
including Nats. Yeah,
Well, wow, okay. I
'Cause-
thought Nats will be working
he flew to no, he's gonna be studying,
studying, yeah, sorry.
studying,
Yeah, sorry.
and then acquiring the green card,
Yeah.
and then the US visa, and then all the stuff.
Man. Interesting because Nats has been one of my favorite players out there, but he's no longer playing in the Philippines. At least he's playing in professionally in
Yeah, has a chance for M6.
True.
Has a chance, not surefire. Has a chance.
Wow, I mean, like, who would have thought that his ticket to an M Series event was to NA?
NA, dude, I've been telling you, like, could have moved up to NA, bro. Coach a team for one
Hey.
season, showed up international stage, went back, formed BTK again.
Hey, oh. say what you will, but I don't think that it's that easy. Actually, right?
Well, to be
That's it.
fair, yeah.
To be fair, even for example, when you're looking at Brazil, for example, the power has shifted now. It's no longer Archeo Kira.
Yeah.
MPLSG, well, no, it's 3-peat for Hades. But he worked definitely hard for the first one.
No, just look at RSG. Where are
Yeah.
they now? It's evil in the grand finals.
Exactly. It's evil. It's Marky. Marky's there.
Yeah, Marky. Boyet.
The solution.
Boyet's there.
Exactly. And now, even in MPL Indonesia, which, I think I've gotten to a point where I'm happy that this happened, where a team without any Filipino is actually the one thriving. For example, RQ, right? And I think the
Yeah.
second one is Aura. Oh, sorry, Liquid.
Liquid, yeah,
Liquid, which had Yawi as well as
Yeah,
James,
but they got
but they got benched. Which, if you think about it, is since 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Since it has been 5 or 6 seasons ever since that whole Filipino takeover
Yeah.
over the world
Yeah.
happened. At this point where it's going back to a point where the teams that are locally pure, purely local, are winning much more than teams with imports.
Yeah, I think they got fed.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, it's not exactly pure
Well,
because they've had Filipino coaches before.
that's true. There were some,
But they're trying to make it such that when they go through the playoffs, it's a full Indo squad.
yeah, and that's the thing. I would say that they've learned a lot from a lot of influences from outside of the region. But now the fact that they are dominating the scene, like RQ with their lineup, with a full Indonesian lineup,
Yeah, that's true.
that makes me very happy. Even though of course I'm still gonna be rooting for Geek Fam. Still gonna be rooting for Fnatic because Yeb's there.
Kyrie, yeah.
Yeah, and even Eman and BTR, I want them to win too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, RQ and Liquid being successful there makes me happy. I think NA might be a longer, might
Take a while.
take a longer time, right?
Because the thing is, I have 4 Filipino players in my squad.
Oh yeah,
1 Mexican. So it's not even. How do you classify pure American? I mean, there's a pure American here, but
he's not even pure American.
I don't even know if you're pure American.
It's actually Irish.
You're half? Oh yeah.
Yeah, true.
So the thing is, like, there's a bunch of like comments in NACT. Why is C9 fielding Filipino players? What do you classify as pure Americans?
Hey, to be fair,
Like Canadians? Not even, right? Not even.
when was the last time that there was a Dota 2 team based in NA that actually had
International success?
no, that actually had like pure Americans? Very long time ago.
Actually, that was C9.
C9, yeah.
That was C9. TI2.
And then even League of Legends. Exactly, are all Koreans.
Yeah, I know.
Valorant teams that are based in NA might have some Americans, but
Yeah.
also have Europeans too. So it's NA having full Americans. Not gonna
To
happen.
be fair, only Dota 2 has had a team that was pure Americans, like EG and Cloud9. Those were the only 2.
Yeah,
I can't remember any other team.
yeah, but that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. That was 2011,
yeah.
2012.
So, I mean, I think it's not a problem.
CNN, LBB, Filipino coach, Filipino analyst, 4 Filipino players. Might as well
So,
turn
wait.
Ico into Filipino.
So
And also, Carlos has been speaking Tagalog.
yeah. Okay, that's my question though. For example, Milo is like a
Oh shit! 5 Filipino players.
yeah, he's like on the bench, right? So, for example, Basic is Filipino citizen. It's a Filipino citizen.
double citizenship.
So technically, he can use the U.S. citizenship to register for NA.
Yeah.
No.
He's the one.
So he's not considered a Filipino. He's not considered an import.
Once you've resided there for 6 months, you're a U.S. citizen.
Huh. Is that how?
And once you've held the dual
Passport.
citizenship, you're basically a resident.
So
So he's not an import. He's a citizen.
So Cold World
So
is
he's American.
Cold World is also American.
He's also American.
Milo is also American.
He's also American.
Nats is a Filipino.
Not just Filipino. In 6 months, he's gonna be American.
So that's a
It's crazy, right? It's crazy. But then you
best
look,
player. You better learn Tagalog now,
dude. Just look at TOB.
Okay.
Why are we getting hate for like having
I'm not getting hate, I'm just-
non-American players? Just look at TOB. There's a freaking Canadian player there. Zia is Canadian Filipino.
That's right.
He's not
So
even
wait,
American.
So technically, there are no imports in TOB back then, or only basic.
What do you mean TOB? No.
I don't know.
Cloud9.
Yeah,
BTK.
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 Technically, they don't have an import.
I would classify Zayn as an import because like I had 4 Filipino players.
Zayn was.
Zayn was the import.
Wait,
and then-
yeah. Am I getting this right? So technically, BTK right now doesn't have an import.
BTK right now, like Zayn, Zia, White Chicken,
Hoon.
Hoon, and what did I miss?
Zane.
No,
I know,
Zane,
Zane.
Zane, Zia, Hoon, Fried Chicken, Shark.
Shark.
Yeah.
So they're all
You know
American.
what's funny? None of them are Americans. Only Fried Chicken. Shark is Vietnamese.
Yes.
Hoon is
Right.
Korean.
But they're technically
Zia
not
is Filipino.
imported.
They're
They're-
not imported. They've been residents for the longest time.
So, meaning to say, let's just say magically they bench two of them. Oh, yeah, they bench two of them. Zia's still there. And then they get two Filipinos. They're still abiding by the laws.
They're still abiding by the rules.
Okay. Well,
NA is weird. NA is weird. You have to understand the rules and you have to be able to wiggle around them. Like we had that
That's
thing
good.
with NACT. We had to confirm. Because we had to confirm that we had 3 eligible players to play for Cloud9.
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the story of NA. You all of you guys think that we're just only concerned about the games? No. Part of 60% of the job is the actual tournament. 40% is understanding how the rules work.
Yeah. I mean, well, so this will apply even when M6 happens. Like practically, you're still. Let's just say literally either of you will get to M6. So nobody is breaking any rule when that
Nobody's
happens.
breaking any rules, yeah, because they're all residents.
And they even have if I don't know if roster windows have ended, but let's just say that magically they get either of you get 2 imports along the way, they're still okay.
No.
Oh no.
So
not
here's the
anymore.
thing, especially with international tournaments, NACT, the final window for roster transfer periods is before the actual playoffs.
Oh, okay, got it.
So the committee checks all the documents,
Okay,
all the rules. If you have 3 eligible players, basically what needs to happen is that the regional 5, three people remain,
got it.
and then you
Yeah.
can swap in 2 players.
Got
Once
it.
the players have started, that's the roster for the international tournament.
Yeah.
So that they can clear it with Moonton. That if you do fly out, you're essentially qualified. It's weird. It's we told you like 40% of the actual work is
So
understanding the rules.
Cloud9, if they get to M6, it's a Filipino team
It's a Filipino squad
with a Mexican import.
with a Mexican import and a North American organization. It's a celebration of culture, man.
A celebration of Filipino culture. You can even argue that Carlos is Filipino.
I mean Mexican, so
Yeah.
technically
Hispanic.
he's a
so-
cousin.
yeah. Carlos is a Filipino name.
He's an essay,
Amigo.
But Carlos is a cool dude, honestly.
Yeah.
I like Carlos very much.
Yeah. Whew, okay, and since we're talking about your players now, and Carlos is a cool guy, I always wanted to ask you about Moba Zay, because say what you will about Moba Zay, especially when this with this issue broke out where him and Dave got into something about that.
Oh, the MSC thing?
Was it a very long time ago when Dave had to make that PowerPoint or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I heard that they resolved it afterwards. Are they? I mean, I won't ask if they're in good terms because
They are. They're in the good terms.
everybody's in good terms now, right? In
NA.
Yeah.
Nobody's fighting anymore.
Yeah. But the thing is with Moba Zay, say what you will about him, but he is definitely Captain America, the face of MLBB.
Oh, that's a good moniker.
yeah,
Captain America.
I mean, he embodied NA.
He's NA MLBB, honestly.
MLBB. And his win with you guys in C9 was very important because he went back to that throne.
Yeah.
And how is he like as a player, like as part of your organization?
I would say if you're looking for a player with, commitment to the actual game and the passion to just compete, Zane is probably at the top 1% percentile. Because the thing about Zane is that he's very committed. He's, he has habits that kind of intervene with said passion and said commitment. But when it comes to, the actual setting for him to showcase how passionate and how driven he is to win, he's gonna show that. Like every single time. He's late sometimes in scrims. Sometimes he doesn't even show up at all. But when we talk about MLBB, we can talk about MLBB for 6 hours straight.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about MLBB, no other stuff at all in between. So, and also like when he's on the stage, he's a different kind of player. Like, nothing else matters. That's why I respect him so much. I liked the grit and the urge to win. Basically, he gets furious when he sees people not playing as the same amount of matches that he has. Like we had this weird encounter between Mar and Zayn. A fight almost broke out, and they were just talking about playing MLBB. Like Zayn was asking Mar how much MLBB he plays every day. Why can't he commit?
Yeah.
And this happened in PH. So like again, this was a time when C9 was really just getting into that mindset of this is an actual boot camp. Zayn got there right after the first this real discussion we had, because first few days they're still kind of relaxing, all that stuff, but after we faced the music, Zayn was a completely different player.
I got into that zone.
Yeah, basically
That competitive gamer zone where it doesn't excuses. There should be no excuses. If you can't be at my level of commitment to the game, it means you're trash. That's essentially the mindset of
sort of like a twist with the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Twist
Again. If you are representing a region for MSC, I would side with Moba Zay in that part where, like, come on, man, we
doing
what are we doing? I mean, we are competing at highest level, $3 million tournament, gotta show up, and that's where people again misunderstand people like that. Fans or other players. Casual viewers would misunderstand that and would label that as toxicity, but it's the reality of things. You have to be crazy about competition. You have to be obsessed about competition.
That's a good term. He's obsessed about a competition.
Which maybe that is the reason why he got so good. Because the thing is, when Moba Zay was when he showed up in M3, you would be surprised of the fact that how come is he good if he's playing at a region where there's really not much happening?
Yeah.
Like, because I think that's always an anomaly for me. If you want to get good, you got to play in the proper region. That's why Kid Bomba, that's why Rosa, Moba Zay, all these players that have the same amount of in-game knowledge and mechanical skill come out from regions that you wouldn't think are good at Mobile Legends.
Yeah.
That's why I actually got very much humbled when I met Zayn during M3, because that's what I felt like, okay, maybe Southeast Asia is not the only region with good MLBB. Case in point, it wasn't. I mean, eventually there were so many good players outside. So, apart from that, that's my assumption. But why do you think Moba Zay got so good at the game?
He's a mix of a game nerd. He's actually a game nerd. Like he's lazy, but when he wants to understand, he understands the game. Like actually understands. He knows the numbers. He knows the interaction.
Cool.
He knows the the mechanics. We usually go into these discussions where we test each other's knowledge out. Like I told him there was one point in time where Impure Rage didn't work on jungle creeps, and he's always been adamant about like that's always been working. And I told him I have a video, I have an actual video of it now working, but it only lasted a few weeks. He's a national game nerd, and that combined with actual raw talent. Like I would say Zayn is a good example of a player that is pure skill. And that's not me saying that he's just skill. Imagine again, like Kobe saying, imagine if the talent works hard. That's Zayn.
Yeah.
Like he has the talent and he works freaking hard. Like he grinds ML minimum 15 to 20 matches a day. That's minimum.
Of ranked games.
Of ranked games. And then add to that the scrims.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
And the thing about the good thing about Zayn
No
is
way.
that
That's a lot.
even if he's online, one tag on a Discord group chat, he's gonna go online.
And
He's gonna play He's gonna play ML.
and he's not like he doesn't choose his teammates or something like that.
I mean that's normal, but when he's playing with like players that he actually is okay to play with, he's gonna go online.
Oh,
That's Zane.
okay. Yeah. So it's combination of work ethic and natural inborn talent,
Yep.
and then actual genius. You
Mhm.
know, I see. And I think there were some reports of obviously when M3 BTK was very successful, they went here in the Philippines, kind of didn't have the best reviews because of what they did. But again, it was off season, so it's understandable that they weren't that disciplined and they were trying to enjoy their stuff because again, they became absolute celebrities after M3.
Yeah.
And they had to enjoy it. But what is Moba Zane's like? What's his thing now? Is he, especially because was it his choice to get back to BTK or to BTK or something?
It was a mutual decision between the remaining players and me, including me, and it was just the best for for both parties. Like
Okay.
Zane wanted to for the longest time he's been wanting to play and reunite with the old BTK.
Cool.
Even before we played GG in the finals, there was this discussion between swapping junglers.
Oh.
So that was an actual thing.
Okay.
Not going into details, but basically Hoon and Shark wanted Zane to play with them.
Yeah.
And then it didn't matter for us whether we played with Zane or best player. So at the end of the day, we let Zane decide, and fortunately he stayed for the finals. Won the whole thing, and then after MSC again, after all the problems have shown themselves, he just wanted to play with the old BTK,
Yeah.
which was for me. I mean, there's always the upsides, right? And I knew for a fact that it's gonna be a good trade because Carlos at the time was a free agent, so
there wasn't any buyout or something that needs
no
to be done.
buyout whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then I was in the middle of MSC, and we all knew we all know what happened in MSC. Assassin junglers popped out.
Yeah. So it made a lot of sense for C9 to eventually acquire best player. And also made a lot of sense for Zayn himself to play with his teammates.
Yeah, so win-win.
Yeah. I guess, everybody gets what they wanted. Okay. So there wasn't any beef at all that happened. Like, when he left.
I don't think so because that guy still has my suit.
Well, and that's the thing that
They still talk to each other within
I'm sure,
the
yeah.
Discord servers.
yeah, they probably talk about the game too after that. Yeah, they're probably getting in a very healthy competition. I'm excited to see what the grand finals will be like. When is it gonna happen?
For us, it's gonna be on Monday next week, right after MPL Philippines ends. So I think it's gonna be around 6 a.m. Monday, October 21.
Okay.
October 21, 6 a.m. our time.
Okay, so October 20 and 21, we're all going to be sleepless. All right, but we're gonna be happy.
Especially me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching. We're gonna be
Also,
watching for
big
sure.
shout outs to Rose, by the way. He's also Filipino. My analyst is also Filipino. So he's there with the boys in Missouri. Rose has been a big help. Like honestly, he's a I cannot express the right words, but he's basically a me. He was the coach of A77.
Oh,
And
okay.
then Basic kept telling me that Rose and I were so similar. And then I
Okay.
was like, all right, sure. I was so skeptical. And then I met the guy. We draft the same. We talk the same. We had the same approach to the game. And I was like, oh shit, that's a me.
Like a Missouri-based midnight. So, yeah.
He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy too.
All right. So he's I would assume he's also very rich because you're saying that he's you.
No, that's not true. He's not a wolf.
No.
He's not a wolf. He's not a Manjin. He's not a Naisu. He's a Rose. And he's a midnight. Yeah, I know.
The actual
rich guy.
Yeah.
The GPM.
Yep. Anyways, I'm happy that's generally what we feel about Moba Zane right now. And I feel that I wish him all of the success in the world.
Yeah, same.
Zane, if you're watching this, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get you on my podcast during M5 because they changed the venue. That's why I couldn't catch him because we were supposed to have a podcast by M5. But
Yeah, it was supposed to be the same venue from the knockouts.
dude,
So and then they switched
let's
to
not talk about that. But
RNC.
but I'm sorry, Zane. Hopefully, you're still down for a podcast soon. We have the same Kobe shoe, but he's got the
really?
the green one. He's got a green Kobe.
Damn,
one,
the
and I
rich
got the-
guys.
No,
Oh no,
you,
no,
you
no,
saw
no.
you saw my.
No, you slipped up.
No, dude.
You slipped up,
It's-
guys. Clip.
I did not
clip.
buy it.
Send it to me. Send it to Mirko. We're
Yeah,
gonna
buy
be,
it.
we're gonna be having a
Didn't buy
feast
it.
with this clip.
Anyways, so that was your own journey right now. I'm hoping for the best for both competitors. Obviously, I'm gonna be rooting for C9 because you're there, and there are what four,
For Filipinos,
four,
Five,
six, six, seven, six.
Oh wait,
Philippine-
me, Rose, the 4 active rosters. That's 6.
Milo.
And then Milo. Well, you could say 7 because I'm transforming Carlos into Filipino. So.
It's a Filipino team.
It's just Aiko, man.
It's a Filipino team, man. Whatever. So yeah, we're gonna be rooting for you guys for sure. At the same time, though, we're wishing the best for Moba Zay because Moba Zay, such a great friend, and I still have this penchant for the BTK people because there was a time that I managed, to talk to them. Zia is also a nice guy to talk to. Hoon is also crazy esports guy to talk to as well.
Mhm.
We'll enjoy definitely talking to him. And one thing that I want to say about the NA guys that I'm very, very proud of, and this goes to the players, coaches, the casters, organizers, bunch of passionate people. I don't know what's your drive and how you are able to still do what you're doing, but I salute you all. NA is the odds are against the NA people, but they're still pulling through.
There's a reason why they call it the land of the dreamers.
Land of the Dreamers. Love it. All right. I wish that will M series ever be conducted in NA? Probably not, right?
Probably not. Probably
Yeah,
not.
probably not.
I mean, we don't know. We don't know because if NA wins M6, then maybe they start getting more supports from different sources
Yeah.
or orgs or sponsors in esports.
If Cloud9 goes up against, let's just say SRG, you're more of a Filipino team.
It's 2 versus 4, bro.
Exactly. So, yeah. Whew. Okay. Now we are in this spot where I ask you about your dream team, Mr. Midnight. So
Damn.
I already told you that this will be the question, so I hope
know.
you're prepared.
Am I allowed to select my own players?
Of course.
Okay.
You can select anyone. You can even select anyone from a specific era. You want the U level basic? You can get it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
want the M3 Moba Zane? You can get
I
it.
can get the shadow analyst.
Yeah, sure.
All right, that's cool.
Okay. Okay.
You put yourself in this spot. Come on.
I mean, who's the shadow analyst? I don't know.
No, I mean he put himself in that spot. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah. So yeah.
So dream team locally or internationally?
So this is I want you to have a local team and a world team. Let's start with the
Okay.
local team.
Local team would be Kyle TZ on the jungle.
Okay. Kyle.
Uh,
Kyle or Carl?
Kyle.
Sorry. Kyle.
Kyle. Sorry, Carl. I know. I
Ooh.
know. I have my reasons, but Kyle. I've been a fan of Kyle since Alpha Esports days.
Damn.
I've been a fan of Kyle. We talk a lot, honestly.
Kyle over Carl? Is this Midnight? Am I actually
is
talking
this the creator?
the creator? Not
Yeah.
choosing the creation. But yeah, okay.
I would say Kyle.
Okay. Any particular?
Uh,
Oh, okay. We already said your reasons.
Kyle. I don't have to choose any particular type because I think Kyle's the best jungler right now.
Okay.
Damn.
I told you this is hard.
I know.
That's why I gave this question in advance.
All right. It's a hard choice between Benny M4 and Marco right now.
Benny M4. Okay.
I
Good
would
choice.
say I would say Benny M4.
Good choice.
Benny M4.
Okay.
Ogwen M5.
Okay.
Ogwen M5. It's just a a mix of Liquid and Brand players.
So far, yeah.
Edward season 10. Best XP performance I've seen.
XP standard.
Yeah, he was the standard on XP. It's either Edward or Sanford, but I would always go for Edward. I
Yeah.
like Sanford's playstyle, but Edward, every single playstyle that Blacklist has been employing, he's been the pillar.
Yeah.
He invented the freaking XP mid thing.
Oh yeah.
Where you fast clear,
yeah.
rotate the mid. He invented
the
that shit.
switch, yeah. I always say Edward is the most consistent one, but in season 10 I called him the fixer because
Yeah.
when Bonchan was drafting, you kind of know what they wanted to employ, but then they last picked the Edward hero. All of a sudden, it makes total sense
Yeah.
and it
Fixed
becomes
everything.
impenetrable.
Yeah. Fixed
Yeah.
everything. Also invented the slow push.
Yeah, with the I know.
Mage. That's all already read there. Mage, right?
Ogwen, Kyle, Benny,
I'd have to say
Edward.
I'd have to say all my Venus. On
Oh
a
my
mage.
Venus.
On a mage, not on Rome.
Mm.
I would say all my Venus mage was something
Season
else.
6, huh? Sicilian.
All my Venus
Lunox.
mage. No, not even Blacklist M3.
Oh,
Haji
yeah,
was
yeah,
Rome.
yeah.
Haji was Rome back then,
Yeah, right.
and then they swapped roles. I
Okay.
still think Venus is crazy good on mage.
Can't argue with that.
I mean, he's always gonna be crazy good.
Yeah.
No, wherever she goes.
You want a 6-man or
Sixth man.
they're allowed to, but you.
let me get
you can
the
pass.
Phantom sixth man. The impenetrable record.
Ooh.
Season 6. Next play. No. I'm gonna choose a proper 6-man. 6-man would be. I cannot choose Wise because that'd be so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Because it's a close battle between Wise and Kyle in the jungle, but I prefer Kyle.
You can pass up on this. You're not required for a 6-man.
No, I'm gonna choose a 6-man. 6-man. 6-man would be nuts. I've always been a hard fan of nuts.
You are in for a massive headache
Why?
because they're both good.
I know it's Edward and nuts.
That is a headache.
I know.
my friend. Well, your problem. Are you coaching this team?
But yeah, of course,
There you go. Okay.
because it's my dream to coach these
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
Why not?
Of course.
But to be fair, Nuts is not. He's not supposed to be on that list because now he's international.
Okay. Whatever. Yeah. You
You know what? Let me just get Kyrie as sub.
This is him being an analyst, you know.
Let me
Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes being an analyst
It's
is bad for him.
It's not even sometimes. Most of the
Yeah.
times it's bad.
See?
Let me just get Kyrie as sub, just to fill the list.
All right. You want headaches? You can have it.
No, because he's whenever the team loses, he can do the interviews because he has the face card.
Yeah.
Or when they win, he can also do the interview. He has a face card.
Yeah. All right. Then your team world. And if this means that you get another set of like all Filipinos, doesn't matter. But this is the actual dream team that you have right now. Who's going to be in it?
I think you know my answer. You know me. You know me. I've always been loyal. C9.
Okay.
C9.
The entire C9.
The entire C9.
Which
This C9.
this C9.
This
All
C9.
right. So that's Nats.
Yeah. That's Nats.
Basic.
International.
That's Peter Bryce.
Best player. Peter. Basically basic Bryce.
Yes, sir.
Cole World. And Mark Cutie.
All right. I think wait, what
And of course, the GOAT on the team.
of course, Milo the goat. Wait. What was Basics IGN during MSC? That was a very funny. That was a cool name.
Basically?
Is it just basically?
Yeah, basically. He went from Basic 01 to Basically, and then he went back to Basic.
Who's the god thing? Who? Nobody? Oh, whatever.
What was that?
Maybe
was it in Scrims?
Yeah.
Oh. No, that wasn't basic. Somebody named himself God of Gold Lane.
Or something. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that wasn't C9. Yeah,
No,
sorry.
that wasn't C9.
Yeah,
I know who
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
who
Sorry,
this guy is.
Sorry. That wasn't C9.
They you know what's funny? After that day, they changed it to Evo's names. Just for the heck of it.
I am gonna transition to another topic so that we don't get into trouble. Okay, so that is your
God
dream
of Gold
team.
Lane.
Yeah, so that's your dream team, and well, your world dream team is C9 right now. Hopefully they get into M6. Obviously, we're gonna be rooting for you, but just don't be overconfident because we know they're BTK. They're still a very strong competitor. There's no patch happening soon, right?
No.
Hopefully not. Hopefully
it's MPL finals. Come on.
Yeah. Hopefully not. All right.
There's an upcoming patch in 2 weeks though.
In 2 weeks. So that is after all of the MPLs.
After all MPL ends.
Okay.
Oh no, not in 2 weeks. I think after a month. They have to wait for MY.
Got it. Okay, so it's gonna be safe. That being said, we're gonna be looking forward to that. I am near my limit when it comes to recording because I have limited amount of memory, but it's just
on the card,
in time.
not on you.
Yeah, true. And this is just in time for the last question, which I ask almost everyone. If I remember, I will ask them. It's always in my notes.
Okay.
What makes a great player?
Ooh, that's a good question. You want a list or general? Well, for
Up
me,
to you, my friend.
what makes a great player? I've always been like transparent about this. A great player, number one, always has to have a good attitude. Good attitude, good mindset, good communicational skills. What's the fourth one? I always use this list. So attitude, mindset, communicational skills. Are you building an acronym? Motivation. Motivation. The grit.
Okay.
Last is the
AMCG.
actual mechanics. It's always last.
It's hard. What's that? G, double M, A, and C.
What the? Wait, attitude, A. Mindset. Communication skills, AMC. Fourth is
Grit.
motivation, AMCM. Grit, or you can use AMCG.
And
then mechanics, AMCGM. That doesn't make sense. I'm a
If you say it like that,
I know.
it sounds like sounds like a sentence.
Sounds a different thing.
Okay, I think we have a few more minutes to ask you about that. And mechanics, obviously, that is easily understood. You have grit and motivation. Depending on a person, you have your own like motivation stuff. Communication is there. What was the first one? Attitude. And the other one is
attitude,
Mindset. All right. What is the proper mindset? When you say you want a player with a good mindset, what does that actually mean? Because when you say that to me, the first thing comes to mind is that he's open to criticism, open to and he accepts losing, graceful in defeat, but knows how to handle it. Or something like that. It's more like knowing how to accept the negatives in life and in professional play, but grow from it. That's what when you say good mindset. But for you, what do you mean by a player with a good mindset?
Generally, for me, I always use this with my players. A player with a good mindset is a guy or a girl that knows what he or she has, he or she doesn't have, and he or she knows how to have it. So, like, very good example of it would be if I want to be a pro player, what do I have? What do I don't have? How do I acquire those?
God,
that's a good mindset, because like that is a root of just constant positivity and growth.
Cool.
Because when you're just chasing for something that you don't have and cherishing the things that you have, you don't look at all the negative things.
Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, when you're talking about good attitude, that's a big topic, and I'm sure that there are a lot of versions of good attitudes. But I wonder what kind of good attitude would you want to have a pro player to have? You know,
I mean, the thing about attitude is that it's very different with with people.
of course.
Like a good attitude would be like if you know you're in something that is like let's say you're a player and you're in a pitch, like you're in a big trouble. The way you treat that problem or the way you approach things, that shows what kind of attitude
Okay.
you have with dealing with these things.
I see.
So good attitude would be just making sure that you do the things that you need to do, and you just focus on that. Because like anything else does not matter. Anything else that you look into or you worry about or it's hard to explain in English, honestly. But if you basically go outside of that zone where you just have to focus on what you're supposed to do, then that's not gonna be helpful for you.
Yeah. If you wanna explain it in Tagalog, you can do it.
I would just use Kobe. Kobe has a good attitude because the way he approaches the actual basketball training is that it's a lifestyle. You don't go outside of it. If you train, you train,
Okay.
and if you don't train, people are gonna catch up. That's a good
Yeah.
attitude.
I see. And is there any player that you've coached or haven't coached yet that kind of checks all your boxes as a great player?
I don't think so, because
You haven't
if
found
they
yet.
check all the boxes, you find a perfect player, and there's no such thing as a perfect player.
Okay. Who's got
mean-
4 out of 5?
Yeah, some people come close.
Okay.
Like I would say, the closest that got to that area is Haji and Renajay. Like they have good attitude. Like with Haji, he has good attitude, kind of weak mentality, weak mindset. Rather weak communication skills when I was still handling him. So
Yeah.
again, it's an example of an excellent player, but not a perfect player.
Yeah.
Renajay at the time was good attitude, kind of okay mindset, bad communication skills.
Okay.
Good mechanics though, and
Yeah.
hyper motivated.
If I were to fill up your boxes, I would say that would be
You'd be
few.
perfect.
No, I think few checks at all.
I thought you were saying you were talking about you. You would be perfect.
Nah.
You would check out all the boxes.
I don't.
All right,
No,
going back
no.
to few.
But a few. And what I always loved about that guy is that there was a time that he got really weak,
Yeah.
but he got back.
Yeah.
Which I think was unprecedented.
Yeah. He
Like
checks out.
who do you think is a player that struggled eventually but came back and became a champion, a world champion even, right? But that you don't even have to be a world champion to prove that you got back
Yeah.
in shape.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other.
Yeah, it's the two goats. It's few and
Carl.
Yeah, the two
that's
goats.
right. Carl also fits that description. So
Yeah. Carl actually checks out now.
cool
When I was handling Carl, he checks out on like 2 boxes.
for sure. And I hope that you guys have your own criteria for a great player. If you have your criteria, just put it in that comment section. Unfortunately, Mr. Midnight, although I want to still chat with you for many things, we will have to end this right now. Take a guess how long we did.
3 hours.
No, it's 2 hours only.
2 hours.
Yeah. Including the pause, that's total 2 hours.
10 minutes.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Midnight. Is there anything you want to promote for viewers? I think this should come out latest Wednesday, earliest tomorrow.
All right, so they're gonna be able to tune in for MPL.
For sure.
That's happening this week, from Wednesday to Sunday. So do watch out for the amazing matches. And also, if you're a supporter and a fan of like international tournaments, do tune in at other MPLs, and of course support Cloud9. No bias, but yeah, Filipino team. Come on. So watch out for NACT, and I do hope you support you show your support for the boys at Cloud9.
There you go. That is Mr. Midnight, Coach Midnight, and a lot of other stuff. Very good friend of ours in the MLBB space. Neck Pillow Midnight. You might have remembered it with Neck Pillow Midnight, which interestingly we
Real talk,
did not
man.
discuss today. And hoping that he comes back in this podcast and we talk about that because that's a different topic. For now, that is Coach Midnight for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again next time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Bye bye. Woo! Woo!